Hello sa inyo lahat and welcome to Project Dream. I am Mr. ALJON Carl V. Garcia and I will be your teacher in Mathematics 7, Quarter 2, Week 1 to 2. And here are our most essential learning competencies. We have approximates the measures of quantities, particularly length, weight or mass, volume, time, angle and temperature, and rate. Converts measurements from one unit to another in both metric and English systems, and solves problems involving conversion of units of measurement. Okay, so our topic for today is about measuring quantities. So what is a measurement? Measurement is a number that characterizes an object or event. We use basic unit of measure for length, time, weight or mass, volume, angles, temperature, and rate. There are two systems of measures. We have the metric system or the International System of Units or SI and the English system. So we have here the commonly used units of measure for different quantities. So tingnan natin yung table. Nandito yung ating quantity and then yung measurement nila by metric and English. So, nandyan yung sa length. Ayan. Ito naman yung sa volume, mass, temperature, time, capacity, and angle. So, first, let's have an activity. It is entitled as What Will We Use? Identify the appropriate unit of measure that can be used to the following quantities. So, meron tayong 8 physical quantity ng dyan. Isipin natin kung susukatin natin sila, ano sa tingin nyo yung appropriate unit of measure. So, I will give you time to answer. Paki-pause lang yung video and then kapag tapos na kayo, i-play lang ito. Okay? Okay, let's check your work if your answers are correct. For number 1, we can use centimeter or inch. Number 2, cup or ounce. Number 3, meter, centimeter or feet. Number 4, millimeter, centimeter or inch. Number 5, kilometer or meter. Then, number 6, cubic centimeter. Number 7, pwedeng cup or ounce. And number 8, pwedeng degree Celsius or degree Fahrenheit. So, yun yung mga pwedeng gamitin natin or common unit of measure na pwede natin magamit kapag sinusukat yung mga physical quantity na yan. So, yun yung mas appropriate gamitin. Okay? So, kahit alin dyan sa mga choices na yan, kapag merong or, kahit isa lang yung nagsasagot nyo doon, tama na yun. So, very good. I hope lahat nakakuha ng tamang sagot. So, we have here the first quantities of measure, which is length. It describes how long a physical quantity is. So, it includes distance, height, depth, and the like. So, pwede natin sukatin ang length using a ruler, a meter stick or a yardstick, and a tape measure. Conversion. So, one unit of measure can be expressed in another unit of measure. It can be from smaller to bigger unit and vice versa, or from metric unit to English unit of measure and vice versa. So, tulad na nakikita nyo dyan sa ating animation, yung 1 unit pwedeng ma-convert to another unit. Ayan. Conversion of length. So, we have here the metric conversion. A table below shows the equivalent measure of 1 unit to meter. So, as you can see, the smallest unit of measure is millimeter and the biggest unit of measure is kilometer. So, makikita natin kung yung millimeter ay na-convert sa meter, ang value niya ay 0.001. While yung kilometer naman, pag na-convert sa meter ay 1,000 meters. So, natin na malaki ang agwat ng millimeter sa kilometer. So, paano nga ba tayo magko-convert gamit yan? So, we have here the metric to metric conversion. The easiest way to convert metric to metric unit of measure is to move the decimal point using this chart. Yan, so kailangan yung tandaan yan. So we have here kilometer, hectometer, decameter, meter, decimeter, centimeter, and millimeter. So, kailangan tinan yung maigi movement na yan from left to right and from right to left. So, let's have an example. Number 1, convert 3 kilometers to letter A to meter and letter B to centimeter. So, first, let's start with letter A, converting 3 kilometers to meter. So, gagamitin lang natin yung chart na nandito. So, yung kilometer daw, kailangan papuntahin natin kay meter. So, ilang steps yun? Bilangin natin. So, we have 1, 2, 3. So, ang mangyayari, yun yung bilang na may move natin yung decimal point doon sa 3 natin. So, kung siya ay from left to right, kailangan yung 3 kilometers natin, move natin yung 3, yung decimal point ng 3 from left to right. So, we have 3.0, kung mapapansin nyo. Yan yung decimal point natin. I-move natin yung decimal point from left to right. 1, 2, 3. So, 3 beses. And ito naman po tayong bagong decimal point natin. At dadagdagan natin ng 0 according to the steps na na-move natin. So, we have 1, 2, 3 na 0. Ang equivalent niya ay 3,000. And therefore, 3 kilometers is equivalent to 3,000 meters. So, ganun lang siya kasimple. So, how about letter B? So, we're going to convert 3 kilometers to centimeter. Yan. So, ganun ulit. Kung nag-start tayo sa kilometers, ilang hakbang siya papunta kay centimeter. So, bilangin natin. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, isusulat natin si 3. Lalagyan natin ang decimal point. And then, i-move natin yung decimal point from left to right again. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, nandito tayo nag-stop. Diyan nilalagay yung decimal point. And lagyan natin ng 0 yung mga lobe or yung step na nailagay natin. So, kada laktaw ng hakbang, isang 0. So, ilan yan? So, we have 300,000 centimeters. And that is the answer. So, ganun naman from metric to metric. Kailangan lang meron kayong chart or natatandaan nyo yung mismong chart. So, we have here the 300,000 centimeters from 3 kilometers. Okay? Next. Let's convert 0.05 centimeters to, we have here meter and kilometer. So, let's start with letter A, converting 0.05 centimeters to meter. So, titingnan natin sa chart, nasaan ba ang centimeter? So, nandito siya. Ilang hakbang siya papunta sa meter? So, siya ay from right to left. So, bilangin natin. 1, 2. So, ganun din ang gagawin natin sa decimal point ng 0.05. So, from right to left, bibilang tayo. 1 and 2. So, nag-stop ang decimal point dito, dadagdagan natin ng 0. So, we have 0.0005 meters. And that is the answer for letter A in number 2. While for letter B, hanapin natin yung kilometer. So, medyo malayo to. So, let's start again. Dun sa chart, titingnan natin. So, from centimeters, move tayo papunta kay kilometer. So, ilang steps yun? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps from right to left. So, i-move natin yung 0.05 ng ilan yan? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times from right to left. Let's go. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, mag-stop yung decimal point dito. And maglagay tayo ng 0. Yan. So, ilan yan? We have here the answer is 0.000005. So, madaming 0. Okay, tama? And that's how we can convert metric to metric unit of measure. English to metric conversion or vice versa. The table shows how to convert the English unit to metric unit of measure and vice versa. So using this table, we can convert English to metric or metric to English. So tingnan na mabuti kung ano yung kino-convert nung una at kung ano yung magiging result niya. So gagamit tayo ng multiplication. Ito yung magiging procedure kapag hinahanap yung inch to centimeters, ika nga. So yung example, tingnan natin. So, what is 8.5 inches in centimeter? So, kung titingnan natin sa table, ayan siya. So, ito yung gagamitin natin. Kailangan natin mag-multiply by 2.54. So, 4.2 times 2.54, we have 21.59 centimeters. So, ganun lang kasimple. Mahalaga na meron tayo nakikitang table kung saan nandoon na yung procedure at yung equivalence. Next example, we have number 2, what is 12 kilometers in mile? So, nasaan yan dyan? Ayan. So, we have here the kilometer to mile. We need to multiply 0.62 to the given measurement. So, the answer, we have 12 times 0.62. The answer is 7.44 miles. Okay? So, ganun lang siya kasimple. Next, we have here the volume and capacity. Volume is the measure of how much amount of space is occupied by a three-dimensional figure, while capacity is the amount contained in a three-dimensional figure. So sa volume, halimbawa itong cube na to, para mahanap yung volume niya, mini-measure natin yung length, width, and height, and then minumultiply natin. Sa capacity naman, gumagamit tayo ng container like gallon, quart, pint, or cup para ma-measure natin yon. We have here the conversion table for volume. So, yung unit natin from cubic kilometers to cubic millimeters, ini-equivalent siya sa cubic meters. So, mapapansin nyo, mataas yung value ng cubic kilometers sa cubic millimeters kapag na-convert sa cubic meters. So, yung chart na nasa baba ay makakatulong para mapa-convert metric to metric unit of measure sa volume. So, from bigger to smaller unit, i-move natin siya, mabibilang tayo ng step from left to right, and then i-multiply natin by 10 raised to 3 times plus 1 per step. Depende kung ilan yung step na nabilang natin sa conversion. Or, from smaller to bigger unit, moving from right to left, i-multiply natin siya sa 10 raised to 3 times minus 1 naman per step. So, negative 1 per step. Let's have an example. Number 1, what is 5 cubic kilometers in cubic centimeters? So, ayan. Yung value na 5, lalagay natin. And then, ito times natin by 10 raised to 3 times. So, kung ilang step yung from cubic kilometers to cubic centimeters or kilometers to centimeters. So, ito, kilometers, bilangin natin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, we have 5 steps. So, makita natin, multiply yung 3 by 5 steps. Kaya ang sagot ay 5 times 10 raised to 15 cubic centimeters. So, yun na yung naging conversion natin. Number 2 naman, what is 6 cubic millimeters in cubic kilometers? So, yan, we have 6 times 10 raised to 3 times negative 6. So, ba naging negative 6? So, ginamit natin yung from smaller to bigger unit. Tingnan natin kung 6 nga ba yung steps. So, from millimeters, bilangin natin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, negative 6 kasi nakalagay dito ay negative 1 per step. So, the answer is 6 times 10 raised to negative 18 cubic kilometers. So, ganyan mismo yung magiging sagot. So, another conversion table for volume, converting the units from liters. So, meron tayong units na cubic meter, hectoliter, decaliter, cubic decimeter, deciliter, centiliter, and milliliter. So when converting the measure to liter, simply multiply the given measure to its equivalent amount of liter while divide it when converting it from liter to the other unit of measure. So ibig sabihin lang nun, kung yung normal way na according to table, kung kino-convert natin from cubic meter to liter, i-multiply lang natin yung mismong value ng na-measure na cubic meter sa 1,000. Ganun din ang bawas sa centiliter, multiply natin by 0.01. And then, Kapag naman vice versa, from liter, for example, to millimeter, i-divide natin siya dun sa value na sa liter. Okay? So, para mas maintindihan na mabuti, sa example number 1, convert 4 cubic meters to liter. So, syempre, meron tayo ditong cubic meter. Pero yung sabi ko, i-multiply natin dun sa value ng liter niya, which is 1,000. So, ang magiging value ay 4,000 liters. Next, number 2, ito naman, convert liter to centiliter. So, makikita nyo, ang value niya na equivalent sa liter ay 0.01. So, i-divide natin kasi na-vice versa na natin siya from liter to centiliter naman. So, we have 12 divided by 0.01, which is equal to 1,200 centiliters. So, ngayon naman, let's have the conversion of capacity. And here is the conversion table for capacity. So, we have here from unit to another unit. Mag-multiply lang din tayo. So, katulad ng teaspoon, converting it to milliliters, mag-multiply lang daw tayo ng 5. So, the result is 1 teaspoon equals 5 milliliters. Kung vice versa naman, converting milliliters to teaspoon, ang gagawin natin sa multiply, magdi-divide naman tayo. Okay? So, let's have example. Number 1, convert 9 quarts to cup. So, nasaan yun dito? Quarts. Ito. And then, nasaan yung cup? Ito. So, mag-multiply daw tayo ng 4 doon sa 9 quarts. So, 9 times 4 is equal to 36 cups. So, ganoon lang kasimple. Ito naman, convert 36 gallon to liters. So, nasaan yung gallon? Ito. Ilan yung i-multiply natin to convert it to liters? We have 3.8. So, 36 times 3.8 is equal to 136.8 liters. So, let's now have the next quantities of measure, which is mass. So, it is a measure of the amount of matter in a substance or an object. The basic SI unit for mass is the kilogram, but smaller masses may be measured in grams or milligram. For great amount of mass, the unit of measure is ton. So, mabigat-bigat na kapag ton ang ginamit sa mass. So, ang ginagamit natin to measure the mass is weighing scale. May iba't ibang uri tayo ng weighing scale, depende kung gaano kabigat ang i-measure natin. Conversion of mass. So, the table below shows the metric unit of measure and its equivalent in grams. Yan. So, ang process natin dito para mas mabilis, yung pag-move lang din ng decimal point from left to right or from right to left. So, maliban dun sa metric ton, so, halos 3 zero madadagdag kapag na-convert siya from kilogram ton. So, pwedeng i-exempt natin siya dun sa process natin. Okay, so let's have an example. Number 1, what is 20 grams in kilogram and milligram? So, letter A muna tayo. So, ilang steps ang i-move natin sa decimal point from grams to kilogram? So, bilang 1, 2, 3. So, 3 from right to left. So, nasa decimal point ng 20, nasa rightmost part. So, bilangan natin 1, 2, 3. So, nandito ni decimal point, add tayo na isang 0 dito, and the answer is 0.02 kilograms. And then how about milligrams? So, titingnan ulit natin dun sa chart. Starting from grams, bilangin natin. From left to right naman tayo. 1, 2, 3 din. So, 20, move tayo from left to right 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So, decimal point, dagdag ng 0. We have 20,000 milligrams. Next, convert 5 ton to grams. So, ang mangyayari, nandyan sa chart, yung 1 ton daw, ang equivalent niya ay 1 million grams. So, ang mangyayari, mag-multiply tayo ng 1 million. That's why the answer is 5 million grams. Kung kilogram naman, mag-multiply ka lang by 1,000. So, ayan. Let's have the other quantities of measure, which is temperature. So, it refers to the measure of the hotness or coldness of an object or substance with reference to some standard value. So, it is measured by Kelvin, degree Celsius, and degree Fahrenheit. at gumagamit tayo ng thermometer to measure our temperature. Let's observe the thermometer using 3 measurement units of temperature. Ayan, so mapansin nyo kahit magkakapantay lang yung measurement nila sa temperature, magkakaiba sila ng value. So to convert them, we're going to use these formulas. So converting Fahrenheit to Celsius, ito yung gagamitin nating formula. Celsius to Fahrenheit naman, ito naman. Ayan. Then Celsius to Kelvin, ito naman ang gagamitin. So kung mapansin nyo, yung Kelvin para makuha natin, kailangan natin ng Celsius. At kung magko-convert tayo from Fahrenheit to Kelvin, kailangan ma-convert muna natin yung Fahrenheit to Celsius bago natin siya ma-convert Kelvin kasi yun lang yung nire-refer ng formula. Let's use the formula in converting temperature. So we have the example number 1, convert 27 degrees to degree Fahrenheit. So ano nandiyan ang gagamitin? Yung nasa gitna, Celsius to Fahrenheit. So we're going to use the formula. Substituting the value which is 27 dun sa degree Celsius. So 1.8 times 27, we have 48.7 plus 32. The answer is 80.6 or 80.6 degree Fahrenheit. Okay? Next. Example number 2, convert 40 degrees Fahrenheit to Kelvin. So sabi nga natin kanina, kailangan ma-convert muna natin yung Fahrenheit to Celsius. So, yan yung formula natin. Substitute natin yung value natin ng degree Fahrenheit, which is 40. So, 40 plus 32 is 72. And 72 times 0.56 is 40.32 degrees Celsius. Yan. And then, gamitin na natin yung formula natin in converting Celsius to Kelvin. We have degree Celsius plus 273. Converting the value of degree Celsius, we have 40.32 plus 273. And the answer is 313.32 Kelvin. Next, we have time. So, ang next quantities of measure natin ay time. So, it is a period during which an action or event occurs. Time is very important and the fundamental quantities of physical world. So, yan, lagi na may measure natin. Lagi natin hinahanap kung anong oras na. And we use clock or timer or stopwatch to measure time. So, let's have the conversion of time. The table shows the unit of time. Yan, kailangan natin yan para sa pagko-convert ng time. Let's have an example. How many hours are there in 6 days? So we have 6 days equals blank hours. So ano nga ba mga gamit natin dyan sa pagko-convert? So we have 24 hours equals 1 day. Since 1 day is equals to 24 hours, then we have 6 days times 24 hours over 1 day. So mapapansin nyo, yung equivalence na sa table, yun yung ginamit natin to convert 6 days to hours. So mapapansin nyo, yung 24 hours, yun yung nasa numerator. Ayan. And then yung nasa denominator naman ay 1 day. So lagi yung tatandaan, kung ano yung unang unit na i-convert natin, yun yung nasa denominator. Kasi ang mangyayari dyan, pag multiply natin, yung numerator sa denominator, makakancel natin siya. Kaya mangyayari, ang matitira, yung kailangan natin ma-convert. Tulad nito, yung hours na lang yung matitira. So we have 6 times 24 hours. So nawala na yung day kasi na-divide na or na-cancel out na. Therefore, 6 times 24 is 144 hours. And that is the answer. Next, we have number 2 example. How many decades are there in 55 years? So, 55 years equals blank decades. So, alin dyan ang gagamitin natin? Sa table, we have years and decades. Ayan. So, sabi dito, we have 10 years equals 1 decade. So, ang solution, since 10 years is equal to 1 decade, then we have 55 years times 1 decade over 10 years. So, pansinin natin mabuti. Yung years ang nasa denominator para makancel natin dun sa unit natin. At ang matitira na lang yung dapat natin i-convert na unit, which is decade. Kaya siya yung nasa numerator. So, we have 55 divided by 10 equals 5.5 decades. So, ganyan mag-convert ng time. Next quantities of measure is angle. It is formed by two rays intersecting at a point called vertex of the angle. The two rays are called the sides of the angle. The unit of measure is degrees, and the instrument used to measure the angle is a protractor. So, ito yung itsura ng angle natin. And then, we have here the protractor. Ayan, yung itsurang semicircle. So, how to measure an angle? The angle can be named using the letter assigned to the vertex or using 3 letters when there are more angles. For example, angle A and angle BAC. Yan, ito yung point. So, dahil maraming ang pwedeng ipangalan sa angle A, gagamit tayo ng 2 letters, matadagdag tayo sa angle A para ma-specify natin kung anong angle siya. Halimbawa, yung angle BAC. So, the angle can be measured by looking to the outer or inner scale. So, yung sinasabi inner and outer dito, ito yung inner, yan, from 0 to 180. And then yung outer naman, from left to right naman. So, 0 to 180. So, pwedeng sa kaliwa ka mag-start or sa kanan. So, by looking to the inner scale, we can measure angle BAC. So, starting from 0 to 45 degrees. So, therefore, angle BAC is equivalent to 45 degrees. So, ganoon na mag-measure ng angle gamit ang protractor. So, any angle that measures between 0 degree to 90 degrees is an acute angle. Then, we have right angle, measures exactly 90 degrees naman. And an angle whose measure is between 90 degrees to 180 degrees is what we call obtuse angle. So, let's try to measure and classify some angles. So, we have number 1, angle FAP, number 2, angle EAM, and number 3, angle DAB. Sige, i-pause na natin yung video and then i-start nyo na ulit kapag na-measure nyo na or na-classify nyo na yung angles. So, 6 points. Okay, so let's measure and classify the angles for number 1. Yan. So, starting from 0 to 70. That's why the answer is 70 degrees and it is an acute angle. Number 2, we have angle EAM. Ayan. From 40 degrees to 160 degrees. And the answer is 120 degrees and it is an obtuse angle. Next, we have angle DAB. So, from 0 degrees to 90 degrees and the measure is 90 degrees and it is a right angle. And now let's have the last quantities of measure, which is rate. It is a ratio of two different quantities. Among these ratios are speed, which is the ratio between distance and time, and another rate is water consumption, which is the ratio of the price per cubic meter, and we have many more. So, ito yung ginagamit to measure speed. For example, we have the speedometer. And we have the water meter to measure the water consumption. So, marami pa tayong ibang klase ng rate. So, let's have an example. So, what is the speed of the car if it travels 120 kilometers? And the solution, the ratio between the distance and the time is the speed. So, kailangan natin ng distance, which is 120 kilometers, over yung time, which is 3 hours. So, 120 kilometers divided by 3 hours is 40. So, the speed is 40 kilometers per hour or 40 kph. Nice job! And now, let's have an assessment. Convert to the indicated unit of measure. So, we have 1 to 10. I-pause lang ang video at mag-convert. After nyan, i-play na ulit ang video and let's check your work. Okay, let's see if we got all the answers correct. Well done! I hope nakuha nyo lahat ng tamang sagot. And here are our references. Thank you everyone and God bless. See you in our next video lesson.